What's up, guys? This is Ranger Flame, and welcome everyone to a Boruto Naruto Next Generations episode 47. Today was the finale of the BYAKUYA arc, which I'm pretty happy about it. I'm glad that it's kind of over. It wasn't a bad arc, but it was kind of at that point where it's like, alright, are we going to make it to the end? And we do. Today was the finale, and I quite enjoyed it, and we do get background information in this episode here as well. But today, it was pretty nuts. I just enjoyed it overall, and I feel like they ended off well. I think they ended off this arc pretty good, and it's going to start something brand new for more Boruto here in the future. In this episode, though, today we have where it last left off of Shikadai and Boruto getting on the train with Ryogi and Ryogi's uncle. It's kind of encountering them right there. And with this here, we actually see Ryogi is being controlled this whole entire time since his parents died by his uncle. And man, what a douchebag he was right here. Like, literally, Ryogi all this time was upon the marks that were, you know, on the civilians' necks that we see in the last episode of them, you know, kind of riding the building of Denki's father. And we see it on, you know, his hand. We see, you know, the imprint on his hand that his uncle, I'm pretty sure it's a jutsu that he uses, a genjutsu. And this whole entire time, he messed up with Ryogi's memories. So the guy that, you know, suddenly, you know, killed his dad and, you know, killed his mom right in front of his eyes, that was actually his uncle the whole entire time. His uncle killed his parents, and then he just used Ryogi as kind of a pawn for himself just to get rich. And, you know, the BYAKUYA that we have known was that they would take money, you know, they would steal from banks, they would steal from pawn shops, and then they would give it back to the poor. This whole entire time, that was just BS. Yes, his uncle didn't want that whatsoever. His kind of just main goal was, you know, that scientist dudes, you know, ninja tools, you know, he'll sell it for a crap load of money and just to get rich. Like, all his uncle was thinking about was paradise and luxury, and he didn't give a crap who died or not. And we've seen that not just like him as Ryogi, but the other members of the BYAKUYA as well, is that we've seen in a scene that he actually killed both of them. I didn't actually see him killing both, but he did kill one guy. You know, he stabbed a sword through his back. So yeah, he was just playing them all along, and you do feel for Ryogi in this episode. Part I'm going to talk about here is I just love Shikadai's character more. Like, I feel like he's definitely in the top 3 characters of the Boruto, not in the Naruto universe, but definitely like of the new characters that we got in Boruto. Like, he's definitely in my top 3 right now. I love Shikadai as a character, and we got this moment as well was, you know, every single time, and when Shikadai like kind of realized that Ryogi was part of the BYAKUYA, he didn't want to fight him, you know, he didn't want to capture him or whatever so that the Hidden Leaf could take him to jail and etc. like that. He just kind of wanted to stay out of the way and not have his friend get hurt. And with this episode, you know, he kind of goes over the limit. You know, his uncle uses, you know, the genjutsu to Ryogi. When he looks at Shikadai, it's that guy, or that pretend guy, that killed his parents. And, you know, if you use too much chakra in this universe, you'll just blow yourself up. And with Shikadai's character, I loved it in this part, you know. He was going the distance to save his friend. He knew that he was a good person and that he would risk his life to save his. And I love that with Shikadai, you know. He's battling him in the train. He's using this ice jutsu. You know, he's trying to figure out a plan to, you know, get to Ryogi because, you know, he's under a genjutsu, so he just needs to touch him and, you know, do the release. You know, the kind of the tactic, just like the shadow clone that we all know, and it's kind of like similar to get out of genjutsu, and Boruto helps him up, which is a pretty cool technique that, if you remember back with, you know, Boruto, you know, Team 7's first mission, you know, Mitsuki and Boruto, you know, Boruto uses his wind style to launch Sarada to defeat the enemy. He did that with Shikadai, going just to touch him with the release. I thought it was a really cool part. The animation was beautiful in this, and I just feel like it was just good teamwork from them, and it was just awesome for Shikadai just to go to that distance for Ryogi. And, you know, that's true friendship right there. You know, just like I said before, you know, in any Naruto or even Boruto right here, is you start to build up a friendship, if it's enemy or not. I wouldn't really consider Ryogi to be an enemy, though, just because he was a good guy at the start, just being a pawn the whole time. But you know what I'm kind of getting at, of, you know, an enemy and a friend, and then suddenly they'll become best friends in the end. And it's kind of sad that, you know, he's thrown in jail afterwards. I'm hoping that, you know, kind of Naruto or the Hidden Leaf realizes that he was kind of just like, he was a puppet this whole entire time, and he didn't want to do anything like this. You know, kind of his goal was just to avenge his like parents. You know, thought, you know, taking this money and giving it to the poor was actually something really good. And you know, it's not that bad. You know, even though he's committing crimes and everything like that, he just feels like giving back to the poor and them kind of surviving is a good way. Which, you know, I do respect that from him, and you know, I do like Ryogi's character. So I'm just hoping that, you know, kind of in the future we do see him more, because you know, I personally like Ryogi's character, and hopefully that the Hidden Leaf and, you know, Naruto realized, or even I don't know about some of the members, but just for Ryogi, that, you know, get him out of jail, hanging with Shikadai, and that again, as he says to Boruto, and everything like that. And that's kind of what the episode was here today. You know, it was kind of just a finale, and it's over, and now we're getting to the mark right here. And this part I want to talk about was, remember when his uncle and Ryogi were stealing that kind of scroll that the scientist was holding, and Boruto and Shikadai went to go get it? You know, that whole time, that scroll that's inside is those ninja gadgets. I'm gonna call them the ninja gadgets right now. I kind of forget kind of the name of it, but if you watch the Boruto movie, and this is kind of spoilers right here, you know, Boruto uses this. You know, this is kind of a ninja tool where it's essentially cheating the system, you know, with ninjutsu and everything like that, which, you know, just in a small scroll, that if you use this gadget, you could say use a powerful lightning ability or a powerful fire ability or etc like that, and it's kind of doing it without wasting your chakra. You know, if you've seen the Boruto movie, you know what I'm getting at, but it's kind of a big Easter egg that we get right there, you know, kind of where they came from and etc, which is pretty cool. I do love background information like that, and of course we're going to get more of that, you know, in the Chunnin exams and everything. And I know this is like kind of not talking about today's episode, but I do want to talk about it, you know, in this review, is that next episode, I'm pretty sure the episode after will actually get the full Chunnin exam arc. You know, next preview is just kind of focusing on Denki's, you know, team, just because they didn't participate in this kind of last mission right here, because, you know, they did kind of go over the system, or they betrayed the system of, if you find the BYAKUYA gain, you have to contact a Chunnin or a Jonin, but, you know, they went after them and they got hurt in the process, so they couldn't participate. And kind of the episode is, you know, kind of them redeeming themselves and hopefully to be in the Chunnin exams, which we don't see them in the movie. If you watch the movie, we haven't seen their characters of them, you know, participating or anything like that. So is it going to be kind of a failed episode next one, I believe, or something like that? Or maybe they were part of the Chunnin exam. Interesting of what we're going to see there, and with Denki's group, if they're going to participate or not, because we do see in a little bit in the Boruto movie that, you know, we've seen Metal Lee kind of kick one of, it was Gaara's sons members, but they failed the test. So it's going to be, like I said, just interesting of what they're going to do and the characters. And with the Chunnin exam here coming up as well, it's going to be exciting, because I'm not going to lie, like, I still think about these episodes, and they're still one of my favorite episodes in the Naruto universe, is the Chunnin exams back when Naruto first started, of them going into, you know, the Death Valley, or I think that's what it was called, the Death Valley, or I don't know, I kind of forget. And then afterwards, you know, the Rock Lee, you know, Gaara fight, you know, the stage like that, which we're going to see, you know, kind of in the Boruto movie with the characters before, you know, the enemies come, etc. I don't know, I'm not going to spoil too much of the movie, but I just feel like, you know, I had to talk about the review right there. I had to talk about, you know, kind of the Chunnin exams coming up, because, you know, I'm hoping that to do it right here. You know, I feel like the Chunnin exam is definitely one of the big things, you know, or arcs in, you know, Naruto, I feel like, just because, you know, if one of them passed, they'll become a Chunnin, or, you know, it's kind of recognition of, you know, Shikamaru. I'm getting too much in the past, I'm sorry. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review here today. With this episode, guys, you know, I fairly enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 today. I liked it. I'm just glad that Shikadai's character is building up more, and hopefully we do see him a lot more like this. You know, it was kind of, I guess, his arc, you know, kind of part of this, but I don't know, I feel like he's standing up to me. Boruto's being a great character as well, and, you know, I'm finally glad they took down his uncle, man. I knew that guy was shitty at the start, talking about all this, probably you guys did as well. I feel like it's quite obvious, but, you know, I'm glad he's in jail now. We're all good with that, and I guess let's get prepared for the Chunnin exams here next week. Much love, hope you guys all enjoy it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll see you guys next week for another Boruto review. Much love, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.